Samory Touré, the lion who refused to bow. Imagine a man who built an empire with nothing but courage, a leader who faced the world's strongest colonial army and said, "You will not take my people." This is the story of Samory Touré, the West African lion who refused to bow. Welcome back to the channel, family. Today we journey into the heart of West Africa, into a time of war, resistance, and unshakable pride. Samory Touré was more than a king, more than a warrior. He was a symbol, a reminder that African resistance did not begin yesterday. It runs deep in our blood, our soil, our memory. Let's step into his world. Let's feel his decisions, his sacrifices, his fire. The rise of a relentless leader. Samory was not born into royalty. He was born around 1830 in what is now Guinea, among the Mandé people. Life pushed him early. When his mother was captured by a rival group, Samory did the unthinkable. He joined them, not as a slave, but to free her. For 7 years he worked, negotiated, maneuvered. And when he finally gained her freedom, he also gained something else: respect, influence, and a reputation that would follow him forever. A man who never abandoned his people. Building the Wassoulou Empire, Samory didn't wait for a crown. He forged one. By the 1870s, he united territories through alliance, diplomacy, and battle. He created what came to be known as the Wassoulou Empire, a state built on discipline, organization, and spiritual strength. He trained a standing army, equipped them with firearms he sourced through vast trade networks, introduced military ranks, and drilled his men with iron discipline. This wasn't just an empire, it was a shield, ready for the storm that was coming. The first clash with the French Europe was carving its path into West Africa. The French wanted control of the Niger Basin, but to reach it, they had to pass through Samory. Samory didn't react with fear. He reacted with strategy. In 1882, the conflict erupted. His forces moved like shadows in the bush, hit fast, disappear, strike again. He understood terrain. He understood patience. He understood that every day he held the French back was another day his people stayed free. Diplomacy as a weapon. Samory wasn't just a fighter. He was a negotiator, a reader of the world. When the French pressed harder, Samory signed peace treaties, not to surrender, but to buy time. Time to strengthen his army, time to expand eastward, time to rebuild defenses. Some called it retreat, but in truth, it was a grand African chess match, and Samory was playing to win. Moving the empire eastward. As French forces tightened their grip, Samory made a bold decision. He shifted his empire east, towards present-day Ivory Coast and Ghana. It was a massive migration of people, soldiers, and leadership. Hard, risky, but necessary. Along the way, he established new capitals, fortified towns, and fresh alliances. He would not be cornered. He would not be swallowed. He adapted. Again and again, the final stand. By the 1890s, the French returned with greater numbers and deadlier artillery. Samory fought battle after battle, always outnumbered, never outwilled. Even in retreat, he scorched the earth behind him, denying the French supplies, denying them comfort, denying them victory. But in 1898, near the borders of present-day Côte d'Ivoire, Samory Touré was finally captured. Not defeated, captured. Because defeat requires surrender, and Samory never surrendered. He was exiled far from home, but his name traveled across Africa like thunder. Legacy of a lion. Samory Touré is remembered not just for the wars he fought, but for the spirit he embodied. A builder of nations, a strategist, a protector of his people, a man who understood that freedom is not gifted, it is guarded. Many African leaders of the 20th century drew inspiration from him. His legacy lived on through generations, including his grandson, Ahmed Sékou Touré, the first president of Guinea. But long before political titles, Samory stood for something deeper: African dignity. Samory Touré's story reminds us that Africa has always produced giants, men and women who fought for land, for culture, for the right to exist proudly on their own soil. His resistance was not just military, it was spiritual, it was cultural, it was human. He stood against one of the world's most powerful armies and forced them to respect the strength of West Africa. If you're proud of this history, If you want more stories of African kingdoms, heroes, and legends, hit subscribe and join the family. African history is vast. Let's uncover it together.